Maya Torres had 72 hours before her cover was blown. She knew this because Agent Marcus Reed had told her over the encrypted phone line at 6 this morning. The cartel knows there's a Fed in Buenos Aires. They don't know who yet. You have 3 days to get what we need and extract. After that, you're burned. 3 days to gather evidence against Santiago Navarro. 3 days to bring down the most powerful crime lord in Argentina. 3 days to complete the mission she'd spent 6 months building. The problem, the massive, career-ending, life-destroying problem, was that somewhere in those 6 months, Maya had done the one thing undercover agents are never, ever supposed to do. She had fallen in love with him. Not the professional admiration that sometimes develops between hunter and prey. Not the Stockholm Syndrome attachment that happens in long-term operations. Real, devastating, soul-deep love that made her wake up at 3 in the morning with her heart racing and her conviction crumbling. She was standing in his Buenos Aires penthouse at dawn, watching him sleep in the bedroom down the hall, and thinking, I have to choose. The badge or the man. My career or my heart. Justice or love. And I have 72 hours to decide which one matters more. Behind her, Santiago's voice. You're up early. She turned. He stood in the bedroom doorway wearing sleep pants and nothing else, his dark hair disheveled, tattoos visible across his chest and arms, the marks of a life lived in violence that he'd never tried to hide from her. His expression was soft, unguarded, the way he only looked at her. Couldn't sleep, she said. He crossed to where she stood by the window overlooking the Buenos Aires skyline, wrapped his arms around her from behind, pressed a kiss to her shoulder. What's wrong? He murmured against her skin. Everything, she thought.
I'm FBI.
You're a criminal. I'm supposed to arrest you. Instead, I'm in love with you, and I don't know how to choose. Nothing, she said. Just thinking. About us, she said. Which was true. What happens next? Next, Santiago said, turning her to face him. We have breakfast. Then I teach you that tango step you've been struggling with. Then tonight, we go to the club and dance until dawn. And tomorrow we do it again. That's what happens next. He said it with such certainty, such trust, as though their future was secure and simple and inevitable. Maya looked at the man she loved and the man she was supposed to destroy and thought, 72 hours. Then everything ends. If you want to know how an FBI agent and a crime lord fell in love, what happens when she has to choose between her mission and her heart, and whether love can survive being built on lies, keep reading. Because this story is about to tear your heart out and put it back together in ways you never expected. 6 months earlier, Maya had taken the undercover assignment because Santiago Navarro was untouchable through conventional means. 5 years of investigation. 3 attempted prosecutions. All failed. Witnesses disappeared. Evidence vanished. The man operated with impunity. But he had one weakness. He staffed his penthouse exclusively through a single domestic agency. And that agency had just been approached by a highly qualified candidate with impeccable references and a background that would hold up under even the most thorough vetting. Maya Torres. British Argentine. Dual citizenship. Hospitality management degree from Cornell. 5 years experience in luxury households. No criminal record. No red flags. Also, FBI special agent. Fluent in Spanish. Expert in intelligence gathering. Trained in close-quarters combat and surveillance. She had expected a monster. The files painted Santiago as ruthless, violent, dangerous. A man who had built his empire on blood and fear. What she found instead was considerably more complicated. Santiago Navarro, he was 38. Argentine on both sides, which had given him dark hair, dark eyes, bronze skin, and the kind of face that belonged in tango clubs and trouble. He ran his organization from a penthouse in Recoleta with views of the city and a security system that would have impressed a head of state. He was also, and this had not been in the file, unexpectedly kind to his staff. Maya noticed it on her 3rd day. The way he remembered everyone's names. The way he asked after their families. The way he paid for the housekeeper's daughter's university tuition without being asked. The way he looked people in the eye when he spoke to them, as though they mattered. It was disorienting. Criminals weren't supposed to be considerate employers. On her 5th day, he'd found her in the library attempting to fix a broken shelf. He'd stopped in the doorway and said, "Leave it. I'll call someone." "I can fix it," Maya had said. "I'm good with my hands." He'd raised an eyebrow. Then he'd crossed to where she stood, taken the toolkit from her, and proceeded to fix the shelf himself with practiced efficiency. "You run a criminal empire," Maya had said before she could stop herself. "And you know how to fix shelves?" He'd looked at her with amusement. "I grew up poor, Maya. I know how to fix everything. Crime just pays better than carpentry." He'd said it so matter-of-factly, without shame or pride. Just statement of fact. That was the first moment Maya had thought, this is going to be a problem. It started on week 3. She'd been in the penthouse study, photographing documents with a micro camera hidden in her watch, when Santiago had walked in. She'd frozen, but he'd just smiled and said, "There you are. I need your help."
With
Tango. "I'm hosting a charity gala next month. Everyone who works for me will be there, including you. And I cannot have my staff standing awkwardly while everyone else dances." He'd offered his hand.
so.
Lesson 1. Maya had taken his hand because refusing would have raised suspicion. He'd pulled her close, closer than was strictly professional, and begun teaching her the basic steps. "Tango is a conversation," he'd said, his voice low, his hand warm on her back. "I lead. You follow. But you also challenge. Push back when I push. Match my energy. Make me work for it." They'd danced for an hour. By the end, Maya was flushed and breathless and acutely aware that the way he looked at her had changed from employer to something considerably more dangerous. The lessons became a ritual. 3 times a week. Always in the evening. Always in the penthouse's main room with the Buenos Aires skyline glittering beyond the windows. And somewhere between week 3 and week 8, the dancing stopped being just dancing. When it changed. Week 10. Late night tango practice. They'd been dancing for 2 hours, moving through increasingly complex steps, and Maya had missed a turn and stumbled directly into Santiago's chest. He'd caught her, steadied her, and for one breathless moment they'd stood frozen, her hands on his chest, his arms around her, both of them breathing hard. "Maya," he'd said, just her name. But the way he said it, she'd kissed him. She had crossed every line in the FBI handbook, violated every protocol, destroyed her operational security, and kissed the man she was supposed to be investigating. He'd kissed her back with 6 weeks of restrained want suddenly unleashed. Afterward, pressed against the window overlooking the city, he'd said, "This is a terrible idea. I know. You work for me. There's a power imbalance. I know. And I'm not a good man, Maya. The things I do, the life I live, you deserve better." She'd looked at him, at the face she'd memorized from surveillance photos before she ever met him, at the man who had turned out to be nothing like what the file had promised. "Let me decide what I deserve," she'd said. He'd kissed her again, and Maya had made the decision that would come back to haunt her. She'd chosen love over duty. For 6 months, she'd chosen it. Every single day. The encrypted call came on day 68 of the operation. Marcus Reed's voice tight, with barely controlled anger. "The Bogota cartel knows there's a Fed in Buenos Aires. They're coming to clean house. You have 72 hours before they figure out it's you. Get the evidence and extract. Now." "I need more time," Maya had said. "I'm close to. You're sleeping with him." Not a question. An accusation. Maya had gone very still. "How did you? We've been monitoring." Voice stress analysis. Behavioral changes.
Jesus, Maya.
"You're in love with the target. This operation is compromised. Get what you can in the next 3 days and get out. And if I don't have enough evidence, then you've wasted 6 months and destroyed your career for nothing. Your choice." He disconnected. Maya had sat in her room for an hour thinking about choices. About the fact that she'd already made one 6 months ago when she decided to take this assignment. And another 10 weeks ago when she'd kissed Santiago, and another every day since when she'd chosen to stay. Now she had 72 hours to make the final choice, the one that would define everything. If you're enjoying this story and want to see what happens next, please subscribe to our channel and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Your support means everything to us as we continue bringing these stories to life. She spent day one gathering evidence. Santiago's study, his computer, his files, everything she'd been slowly accessing for 6 months. Financial records, shipping manifests, communications, all pointing to money laundering, drug trafficking, and worse. But she also found something else, hidden in an encrypted folder buried 3 layers deep. Evidence that Santiago had been cooperating with Argentine intelligence for 2 years, feeding them information on the Bogota cartel, working to dismantle the trafficking networks from the inside. He wasn't just a criminal. He was an informant, maybe even an unwilling one, leveraged into cooperation, but cooperating nonetheless, which meant everything Maya thought she knew was wrong. She found him on the terrace on day 2. Sunset. The Buenos Aires sky turning impossible colors. He was on the phone speaking rapid Spanish, and when he saw her, he ended the call immediately.
Maya.
I was looking for you. I need to ask you something, she said, and I need you to tell me the truth. Something shifted in his expression. Okay. Are you working with Argentine intelligence? The silence stretched. How did you? He stopped. Looked at her more carefully. What were you doing in my encrypted files? Answer the question.
Yes.
For 2 years. They have leverage. My sister Valentina, she was caught with drugs 5 years ago. Plant, almost certainly. They threatened prosecution unless I cooperated. So I cooperate. His eyes narrowed. How did you access encrypted files, Maya? Who are you? This was it. The moment. The choice. FBI, she said. Special Agent Maya Torres. I've been undercover for 6 months. My mission was to gather evidence to prosecute you. Santiago went absolutely still. FBI, he repeated.
Flat.
Disbelieving. Yes. You've been this whole time.
The job.
The tango. Everything. You've been, his voice broke.
Us.
Was that part of the operation too?
No.
Maya stepped toward him.
Santiago. No.
That was real. That was, don't. He held up a hand. Don't tell me it was real when you've been lying to me for 6 months. When you've been in my home, in my bed, in my life, and it was all to gather evidence to destroy me. I didn't know you were cooperating. I didn't know about your sister. The file made you look like a monster.
Yes. I'm aware.
He turned away. You need to leave. Tonight. Before I do something I regret. Santiago. Leave, Maya. Or Agent Torres. Whoever you actually are. Just get out. She left. She went to her room. She packed her things. She prepared to extract. And then, at midnight, everything went sideways. The ghost makes his move. The attack came at 2 in the morning. Maya woke to gunfire. Shouting. The sound of glass shattering. She was on her feet instantly, weapon drawn. The backup piece she'd kept hidden for 6 months. She found Santiago in the hallway, also armed, blood on his shirt. Not his blood. Someone else's. Stay behind me, he said.
I'm FBI.
I don't stay behind anyone. He looked at her, at the gun in her hand, at the professional stance she'd adopted. Of course you are, he muttered. They moved through the penthouse together. 3 bodies in the main room. Santiago's security team.
Dead.
Javier, his second in command. Wounded but alive. The ghost. Javier gasped. He came for you both. Said you betrayed him. Said the Fed and the traitor both have to die. Where is he? Santiago asked. Roof. He's got Valentina. Santiago's face went white.
No.
Maya made a decision. Give me cover. I'll go up. You secure the exits. Maya, this is what I do, Santiago. Trust me. He looked at her for one long moment, then nodded.
Don't die.
Same to you. On the roof. The ghost was a legend in cartel circles. A hitman so effective he'd never been identified. No one knew his real name. No one had ever seen his face and lived. He stood on the Buenos Aires rooftop with Valentina held at gunpoint and his back to the ledge. He was maybe 50.
Scarred.
Cold-eyed. Professional. Agent Torres, he said when Maya emerged. I was hoping you'd come. Let her go, Maya said, weapon trained on him. This is between you and me.
No.
It's between me and everyone who thought they could play both sides. Your boyfriend has been feeding intelligence to Argentine police for 2 years, costing us millions, costing us soldiers. And you, he smiled. You infiltrated his organization and fell in love with him, compromised your mission, betrayed your badge. You're both traitors, and traitors die. Shoot him, Valentina said. Maya, just shoot him. I can't get a clean shot, Maya said. He's using you as a shield. Behind her, footsteps. Santiago emerging onto the roof. Let my sister go. Take me instead. No, the ghost said. I take all of you. Starting with Valentina moved, dropped her weight, broke his grip for just 1 second. Maya fired. Center mass. The ghost fell. Valentina ran to Santiago. Santiago looked at Maya, at the weapon in her hand, at the body on the rooftop. Nice shot, he said. I'm FBI, Maya said. It's what we do. In the aftermath, the police came. Argentine intelligence came. The FBI came. Everyone came. Maya gave her statement. Santiago gave his. The ghost was identified as a Bogotá cartel enforcer. The attack was classified as cartel retaliation against a cooperative witness. Santiago's cooperation with Argentine intelligence was now public record, which meant he couldn't go back to his organization. The people who'd trusted him now knew he'd been informing. He was burned. Maya's cover was blown, which meant she couldn't go back to undercover work. Her career as an infiltrator was over. They'd both lost everything. Together, they sat on the penthouse terrace at sunrise, the same terrace where he'd taught her to tango, where they'd fallen in love, where everything had started to unravel. My hammer wants me back in DC, Maya said.
Debrief.
Reassignment.
Desk job, probably.
I'm done with undercover work. I'm going into witness protection, Santiago said. Argentine intelligence has offered relocation. New identity. Clean start. Where? Don't know yet. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere far from cartels and crime, and he looked at her. Everything I've ever known. They sat in silence for a moment. The Buenos Aires sunrise turned the sky gold and pink and impossible. I lied to you for 6 months, Maya said. I came into your life under false pretenses. I was supposed to destroy you. Instead, I fell in love with you. And now we're both here, and I don't know how to fix it. You can't fix it, Santiago said. It's broken. What we had was built on lies.
Meaning?
Yours. Everyone's. Does that mean it wasn't real? He was quiet for a long time. No, he said finally. It was real. That's what makes it so hard. You were lying about who you were. I was lying about what I did. But what we felt, that was the one true thing in 6 months of deception. So, what do we do? Maya asked. Santiago looked at her. You go back to DC. You rebuild your career. You forget about the Argentine criminal who almost destroyed everything you worked for. And you. I disappear. I start over. I become someone new. He took her hand. Unless you want something different. Like what? Like coming with me. Into witness protection. New life. New name. We start over together. No lies.
No mischins.
Just us. If there's still an us. Maya looked at their joined hands. At the man who was both the best and worst thing that had ever happened to her. At the choice she'd known was coming since the moment Marcus told her she had 72 hours. If I come with you, she said slowly, I give up everything. My career. My identity. My life. I know. And there's no guarantee it works. We might still be too broken. I know that too. So, Why would I do it?
Santiago's Maid.
Sad and real and devastating. Because sometimes the only way to start clean is to burn everything down and build from the ashes. Because we both lied, but we both loved. Because you saved my life and I saved yours, and maybe that counts for something. He squeezed her hand. And because when you dance tango, Maya, you're supposed to push back, to challenge.
To make me work for it.
So I'm asking, will you dance with me? Into whatever comes next. Maya thought about Washington, about her career, about everything she'd worked for. Then she thought about Buenos Aires sunrises and tango lessons and the way Santiago looked at her when he thought she wasn't watching.
Yes, she said.
I'll dance. 1 year later, they lived in a small coastal town in Uruguay, under new names, new identities, new lives built from the wreckage of the old ones. Maya, not Maya anymore, but she still thought of herself that way, ran a bookshop. Santiago worked in construction. They danced tango on Friday nights at the local club, and no one knew who they used to be. Sometimes she missed the FBI, the purpose, the clarity of knowing she was one of the good guys. Sometimes he missed the power, the respect that came with being feared, but mostly they were just glad to be alive, to be together, to have found something real in the middle of all the lies. On their 1 year anniversary of leaving Buenos Aires, Santiago took her to the beach at sunset. They danced tango in the sand with no music but the waves. He pulled her close and said, "Do you regret it? Giving up everything?" Maya thought about FBI credentials and corner offices, about the career she'd had and the one she could never have again. Then she looked at the man she'd chosen over everything else and said, "Not for a second." "Good," he said, "because I have something for you." He produced a small box from his pocket. Inside, a simple silver band. "I can't give you your old life back," he said, "but I can give you a new one. With me. If you want it." Is that a proposal? It's a promise. That whatever we build from here is real. That I see you, not Agent Torres, not the woman undercover, but you, Maya. The woman who saved my life and stole my heart and dances tango like she's fighting a war. He smiled. "Marry me, under our new names, in our new life. And let's make this real." Maya took the ring, slid it on her finger, kissed him in the Uruguayan sunset, and thought, "I gave up everything, and I got everything back, just in a different shape." "Yes," she said, "let's make it real." And they did. This story has reached its conclusion. Thank you all for following this story. If you enjoyed it, please write in the comments where you're watching from and share your thoughts about this story. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, as your support is important for me to continue creating content.
Until next time.